Well, she asked, what do I do to do Hollow Ichigo? Usually I start off with Hollow Ichigo. Well, when we dub the episode, I usually try to do Ichigo stuff first, because it's all in kind of this range here. And I usually, it always starts with the fighting calls for me, for a lot of the characters that I do. So Ichigo is, most of his stuff is, but Hollow Ichigo is kind of like a weird, high-pitched, cackly kind of. We can never do it like as well without like getting prepared. But that one I just kind of picked out like some characters that I played before, and then I was thinking, oh, the Joker's kind of a weird character who laughs or whatever. That might be kind of cool. Throw a little bit of that in there. And then like I throw in that rolling R that the Yakuza do, you know, like when they're pissed off, they're like. So I throw that in there whenever. Occasionally, he's like slicing down or something. You'll hear, yeah. And so that's how I talk. And then they filter it like they do in the Japanese with a little bit of that.
There's more people coming in. Yes.
What was your favorite performance that you did on stage?
Wow, there's two. It's just like asking us what our favorite anime role is. It's really hard to pick. Monica Rial and I did a production of Cabaret where I played the MC. And wow, yeah, MC. In fact, I'm wearing Alan Cummings perfume this morning. So,
oh boy.
Speaking of the MC, yeah. It's really cool. It's I didn't put enough on, evidently. It now kind of smells like wrist and wood. But it was a really tough role for me because I had to, one, moon the audience, which I'm extremely modest, and they had to talk me into that. And two, it's a character that is really, really not, if you've seen the movie Cabaret, it's a very happy character, and the play is a really dark, really upsetting character. It's also a character that stays on stage almost the entire show. So that being said, it was a really tough role for me, but that's one of those shows that every night at the end of the show I could hear the audience crying. I had the big tearjerker moment at the end of the show, so I really, really enjoyed doing that every night, and hearing Monica played Sally Bowles, which was a really amazing show. The other show is a really interesting show called Runaways by Elizabeth Swatos. And it was done in a theater like about a 16th of this room size. It was the tiniest theater I've ever worked in. And it's a really confrontational show and a very uncomfortable show. And we were literally on top of the audience. And there's a cast of like 20-some people in that show. So you can imagine with that many people in a theater that size, we were almost in the audience's lap the entire show. So that's the first time I've performed in that kind of working space, and it was interesting because it was almost like you were interacting with the audience, even though it's straight monologue after monologue after monologue after song. Both of those shows, but I think it's funny, my two favorite acting experiences were really dark shows, I know it's shocking, and shows that deeply gripped the audience and affected the audience instantly. But both of those, and theater students, look up Runaways if you're looking for great monologues for audition pieces, because it's the most phenomenal show as far as one-person monologues I've ever seen. So, yay! Oh, awesome! And there are more hands.
Just jump up and down.
What was your favorite convention?
Sing a song.
So many. I guess my favorite still is meeting Daisuke Moriyama, from the mangaka from Chrono Crusade. The night that I met him, I geeked out big time. And he thought I was staff. He really didn't know that I was one of the guests, because I looked like a fanboy, and I was just like, you know, when he came in, I was like, oh, get him a beer, and you know, I was trying to do everything. And the next morning, a really good friend of mine, a person that I didn't know at the time, but a person that's like a little brother to me, my friend Cody, had made a Chrono costume for me, and the people at Anime Boston had asked me to wear it for opening ceremonies, because they had a cosplayer from Canada dressed as Rosette, and we walked him out on stage and like stood there with him while they introduced him. Well, so then he thought I was a cosplayer. And so, you know, we walked him out on stage, and that was really cool, and I was all geeked out. And then they started introducing the North American voice actors, and they were showing clips of our shows. And when I went and got in line, he was talking to someone else and not really paying attention, and then I got up on the deal to go, and the first thing was that, you know, my name is Chrono, I'm what you people call a demon. And you could see Moriyama go, excited. So that's really cool, and I'm about to have another moment like that again. There's a kid that I based the role of Koyuki on, who's a little 15-year-old kid that I know, or at the time he was 13, who was teaching himself how to play the guitar. And it was funny, on his MySpace it said, you know, my name is Sam Biggs, I love anime and my grandma. You know, I'm teaching myself to play the guitar. And it went on to say, you know, I'm not very good, I wasn't born with a lot of natural talent, but I practice every day, and one day I'll be better than da-da-da-da-da. Well, now he's really awesome. Well, which is a segue for Voices for Peace, we're doing a concert at Anime Central, and they asked me if I wanted to do a song from Beck. And they're gonna let Biggs come on stage and play lead on Slip Out while I sing it. So it's really cool, because he's the kid that I based Koyuki off of, and it's gonna be his grandma's first time to ever see him play the guitar on stage, and it's gonna be really rocking. So like, that's my new one. That'll be my new one after that happens. That'll be in 4 weeks at Anime Central. So, and then ask me about this later, because this is a bunch of voice actors singing rock and roll songs. Somebody else. What?
It's like a ton of different like texts from
Here, wait, I'm gonna send you.
my favorite moments. This one? I beat you! I don't know, what is my favorite moment? I can't really think of anything. But, no, they asked me my favorite moment at a convention or whatever. Maybe when me and my band got kicked out of the DDR room. They yelled at us because we were dancing too hard. Just a couple of years ago.
That's awesome.
Weird, huh?
Dancing too hard.
Yeah, actually I was watching. They were dancing. I was laughing.
Alex, were you dancing too hard?
Yeah, that's my drummer and my bass player. We're playing tonight in here at 10.
And I've got a voice acting panel that starts just seconds before, and I'm going to cut it short and tell everybody if they want to be a voice actor, come see iShine. Yeah, and watch out, Alex is guarding his neck from vampires this morning.
All right, vampire boy.